Hello, and welcome to another episode of Third Action. I'm your lovely host, Jason, and these are the same three little snowballs that were here last week. In the bottom left, we have Azure Ford, Human Ranger, played by Char.
My dog is being bad, so I have to keep shooing him. Higley, go, good pull. Right.
In the bottom middle, we have Greshy, Ironroot, Dwarven Druid, played by Will.
I'm here and sorry about last week, but good now for the moment, maybe.
And in the bottom right, we have Gunn, Shough, Human Champion of Erastil, played by Adam.
Yeah, we've been running for a long time already.
Weeks on end.
Yeah, we
tired.
That entire last week's episode that we didn't air was just entirely running. So we're going to continue that. So last time on Third Action, our group of intrepid adventurers had a nice little sit down and talk with Greshy's mother and the Lady of the Lake. Those are two separate characters. And once that was done, you got some info from them about the situation in Zinshalast, and were warned of some of its dangers and potentially some allies you could try and seek out. And after you were given a blessing, you set out for the main road to the north that looks like it leads up into the mountain pass where the city must lie. While traveling along the road, you encountered a group of large, pale-skinned giants with flowy clothing that had been hiding out behind some rocks on the side of the road. They spot you at about the same time you spot them, and a very brief battle ensued that turned into a chase. So you all started to run from them, and that is, I believe, where we left off, pretty much.
Aye.
So we're going to go into a chase sequence. Let me get on over here to my roll 20. Hello. My roll 20 is frozen. That's cool. But in any case, my roll 20 on this other screen is not. So you guys are here. The way a chase is going to work is we're going to go round by round. You are a bit faster than these giants and have like a bit of a head start on them because you're a bit further down the road. So you start one space ahead of them. Each cell that you travel along is kind of an abstracted area, I suppose. It's not a specific foot-by-foot measurement, and turns are more like a couple of minutes rather than 6 seconds at a time. So when the party's turn comes up, you'll always go first in the round. You can choose who acts in what order, but all three of you must act. If you, I'll give you a set of default actions you can take in the zone you're in, but you can improv any other actions or use spells or special abilities that you might have to try and get success points. Each area needs a different number of success points to succeed. And yeah, I think that's the quick gist. If you manage to get enough points to pass an area, you will immediately move on to the next zone, and whoever still has not acted for the round can still go before the end of your turn. So that is how you can. So if you want to try and order people in a way that that certain people who might have better skills for the next area save their turn for last, you can do that. Once all three of you have gone, the giants go, and the giants basically just advance one every round, barring some circumstances. So you are trying to move faster than them if they manage to actually catch up with you, then a real battle will ensue, and it will be disadvantageous to you. So, with that all said, let's begin. Oops, that is a dice roller and not the initiative tracker. Initiative. Alright, so, top of round 1. So you guys find yourselves running along the main road. The group of giants is not far behind you, and as you're running, you hear the sound of one of them reaching for a massive war horn, blowing it, and from the sides up to the left and to the right, you start to notice cavern entrances opening, and more of these massive bluish giants start to kind of flood out onto the road. They're still behind you, but they're forming into a big enough group. You also can, those of you who look back can see some of the giants lifting slowly off the ground, their clothing beginning to billow as they float behind you, clearly able to fly to some capacity. You initially pegged them as potentially being very slow, but with those that are not flying have quite big strides, and those that are flying seem to be moving as if they weighed nothing at all. And they are, as a mass, they're gaining on you. So you find yourselves in a big open road. You can try to continue up the road. Let's see. So default actions that you can take, you can try to look for alternative escape routes. That would be a perception check, DC 30. You can try to organize your group's formation to try and get into a more advantageous positions. That would be either diplomacy 32 or Warfare Lord 27, or you can try to do some kind of fake out where you mislead your pursuers, and that would be either be a deception check, DC 30. You guys can come up with alternate suggestions or use any kind of special abilities, that sort of thing. The floor is yours. Who wants to go first?
What were those first two again?
The first two were seek escape routes or organize your formation.
Okay. I was thinking maybe this falls in sort of with organize your formation, but of having Asher harass them with arrows as we go. And if any one of them starts to break away from the pack, then Rock and I could also harass them with ranged spells as we fly.
Okay, you want to try to harass them with attacks? Those would actually be, I would have you roll an attack check if you were going to try and do that.
Slow them down?
Yeah. So as long as they're within one space of you, I would allow you to do that.
But maybe that's not the most effective thing we could do to gain some distance.
It would help. I forgot to say, the current space you're in requires 3 success points. You get 1 by default for any success and 2 for a critical success. If you take no action in the round, you cost the team a point.
I see.
Well, I can start with giving us a bit more speed if we want. I have haste. It'll give us a little bit more distance, but...
Haste is a thing that lasts 1 minute, right?
Right, and I'm assuming that'll be about a round, so it would give us a bit more distance, but we're still running.
Yeah, if you cast haste, if you can cast haste on the whole group, I would count that as giving a point.
So.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's worth 1 point, and it's just that one spell for that round total.
Makes sense.
So I'll
Yeah,
go ahead
is
and do
that-
that now then, and
Okay.
we can get a little bit further ahead.
So, Greshy, you're riding on Phelan's back. Rock, Gunn, you're flying on Rock over just overhead, and Asher, you're just running at full speed. Greshy, you, I guess, using your staff mender, twirl it through the air and give everybody a boost of magical wind that hastens their movements. That is enough for 1 success point. Asher and Gunn, you guys need 2 more success points to proceed to the next zone. What would you like to try?
Look for nice, safe escape routes that we can
Okay.
take.
All right, that's a perception check DC 30, so go ahead and roll. And you're allowed to use points, etc. on these.
Oh, good to know.
All right, natural 20, 42. Sorry, not natural 20. It's a 42, which is a critical in this
It is
case.
so light that I can't see it.
Oh, is it the dark
Why
mode?
is the I was like the font's so light.
Oh,
my
the dark mode doesn't
It's
work with my
22.
character sheets on here. Sorry. Sorry. You got a 42, which is a critical success in this case. So Asher is trying to scout, look for alternatives, look for ways that you guys can go to escape this pursuit. You earn the team 2 success points, which will allow you to advance this round. And because you took that seek action, you can actually see ahead to these zones that you can choose from. So you could continue up the road,
On fire.
just straight ahead, and you can make out in the distance what seems to be a kind of like a series of tents all arranged in like a camp up the road. It's pretty far up in the distance. You see smoke drifting up. It's clear signs of some kind of camp. You're pretty sure that the road is going to be the fastest way to Zinshalast, but it clearly seems like it's going to go through more enemies. To the east, or to the right here on the diagram, is the hill becomes very steep, and you can try to climb your way, climb or fly your way up the eastern cliffs to more safety. It is higher ground, but it looks a bit more like rough terrain, a bit more perilous to stand or climb. Also, the winds are picking up, so it seems like it could be a bit drafty and much colder. And your other option is the option to the east also seems like it would take longer to reach any kind of, or to reach Zinshalast. And the western route is kind of the middle of the two, to your left. It's cleaner slopes, but much deeper snow that you'd have to get through. But otherwise looks like fairly normal, rugged-ish terrain. It's a bit longer of a route, probably, than just going straight up the road, but less long than taking the really long way around up the eastern mountains.
Your call, Asher.
Oh no.
I can't really communicate from here much anyway.
Yeah. I will choose the snowy. I guess I would just say the left. That's probably the easiest.
Okay,
Start
the
going
eastern
and
route.
follow.
Okay.
Where do I put my? I can't put. Oh, well, there he goes.
Oh, oops, I've put them on the
He's
token layer. I meant to put them on the map layer. My bad. Okay, so Asher starts moving in, he starts running up the western slope, and the two of you follow suit. So that's Asher's turn for the round. Let's see, so in this area, it's pretty deep, thick, heavy snow that you're charging through. There's a low rumble in the ground. It feels at first like the just the footsteps of all the giants in the area that are running behind you. But you realize that it's a little bit like longer and more sustained. It's just a very low rumble. Default actions that you could take here are just to try and help plow through the snow. That would be athletics, DC 30. There's also just navigating the terrain, which is a survival DC 28.
I think for Gunn's turn, we'll probably fly ahead and try to find a route that will have a clear path over land that maybe we can see from up here for the other two to follow.
Okay, just try and scout something out. Okay, so that'll be a perception check, DC 30. And you can either do
survival one, but
yeah, you can do survival too. Yeah, either is fine. And it can either be you or Rock. I'll let you choose.
Well, I guess actually perception is slightly better for me than survival at that, so I'll go for that check.
Okay.
Here we go. And so we have exactly a 30.
All right, that's perception DC 30. And this one's, I neglected to say, this is also a 3-pointer. So you got your 3 points at the first area. DC 30 is enough. You earn a point. So you fly ahead and you spot what looks like a cleaner path through the slopes that's a bit more shaded by a cliffside, so it has less snow underneath it. And you try to guide the party, casting message back to them to tell them to go in that direction. So you all continue to move, and on the giant's turn, they continue to advance, trying to chase after you. You can see that some of them are probably the slower. The ones that aren't flying seem to have a little bit of a slower time trying to make it up the cliffside, but the ones that are flying are still able to keep up pretty well. All right. Top of second round. What do you guys want to do? Anybody can act.
Couple questions here.
Mm-hmm.
Asher is moving. How quickly is Asher able to get through this? Is he running like kind of on top of the snow? Are we talking legit elf stuff, or is he just actually having to plow through like everyone else?
I think I should, by default, unless it's like super tough terrain, I'm just kind of. Yeah, is it walking above it, or is it
basically
just kind of like
is Asher is Greshy, are Greshy and Phelan the only ones currently hindered by the snow?
Yes, I suppose so. Asher is just moving very fluidly through it, sometimes almost looking like he's walking on top of the snow, but not necessarily.
Sure, gotcha. All right, Greshy will urge Phelan that we need to go faster to keep up. And as he does so, Phelan starts to shimmer and slowly turns blue, as does Greshy riding on his back, as he goes into a spirit form and starts to run faster through the snow.
Okay. So you guys saw this happen exactly one time before, when Phelan phased through the door of the cabin. But this time he takes Greshy with him, becoming somewhat ethereal in nature and increasing his speed. And that will give you a success point. As you are the slowest member of the group, and that has made you not be as slow. So you're able to keep up with everybody, and they don't have to slow down to accommodate you and worry about you. All right. You guys need one more point to get through this zone. Asher or Gunn?
To me. Oh yeah. I was looking at something real quick. I failed to write down.
Plowing through snow is one of the options. If I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, athletics.
Snow.
athletics to plow through the snow, or survival/perception to try and seek good routes through the snow.
Oh. What was the survival or perception check?
That DC was DC 30 to try and just search for routes through the snow.
I will search again. I'm pretty
Okay.
fast.
Asher's pretty good at searching too.
I am with a 31.
All right, 31 is just enough for success. As the giants are gaining on you all, you spot a clean path up a cliff face that is just big enough for the group of you and not big enough for the giants to continue pursuing along. So you're able to continue as a group into the next area. So as you're passing through that up like further and further up the mountainside, you continue to feel that rumbling under your feet, and or those that you that are on the ground. Oh, I guess it's just Asher. Only Asher feels it at this point.
Asher.
Please.
It's Phelan and Greshy are a bit ethereal, and Gunn is flying on rock. But you can all hear it now. It's grown louder and more sustained. That is when you notice a sudden gout of smoke from the west to your left, as you realize that the mountain that you're currently running up is in fact a volcano. The ground starts to split and break as geysers of hot steam start to shoot up all around you. You find yourselves in the midst of both an earthquake and volcanic activity. So, as you're running, at the end of the round, you'll have to make fortitude saves. Sorry, not fortitude saves. These are reflex saves as gouts of steam just start to open all around you, venting out hot air from the earth. Let's see. So, in addition, since the earth is shaking, large chunks of rock are also getting dislodged from the mountainside or tumbling all around you. Some are starting to get in the way and block the path. You can clear path. With athletics, DC 36. You can try and locate more stable ground with survival 34 or perception 34, or you can try to cause a more useful landslide with a DC 40 athletics check, or anything else you can think of. Gunn.
That does seem somewhat more my style, that last one. Yeah, is there a spot where I could attempt to, especially with Rock's help, send something tumbling down behind us to slow down enemies?
Yeah, you see plenty of spots where a good strike or a good shove or a well-timed spell could easily dislodge a precarious cliff edge down onto your pursuers and slow them down.
I will point down at one such spot to Rock and shout, "There!" and we'll dive, hop down, and start heaving boulders.
All right.
So he can do an assist?
Sure, yeah, I would allow an aid.
See.
Yeah, I would allow him to aid, so he can do an athletics check, DC 20, to aid you.
Okay. He is an expert at that, so he can get a natural 20 for 43.
So natural 20, so that's I think an expert that's still +2.
Yep.
Okay. All right,
So
you get a
even though
+2 to
he
your
has
check.
enough to have a, even
Yep.
though he got enough to succeed by himself, I still have to roll. So I'll go ahead and give that one try with a 42 for me, so making 44.
44, it's better than if you...
Rock on, so.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
yeah, the two of you working together managed to dislodge enough rocks to both grant you guys a success and delay the opponents around. They'll need one extra turn to pass into that space where you guys are in. So, on their turn, the giants are still trying to catch up. They're making their way up the slopes and are getting close to the spot where you've now sent a bunch, basically a rock slide down towards them. And at the end of the round, I need all of you to make reflex saves, DC 38.
All right. Oh boy. Well, we'll just do it. See what happens.
2
Wow,
failures here.
I did it.
I'm gonna go ahead and hero point Greshy because
All right.
that's pretty bad. That's very bad. That's much better. So 40 for Greshy and Phelan. Phelan gets a natural 20 for 49, though both of them, because Greshy's riding, are -2, so it's a 38 for Greshy and a 49 or 47 for Phelan.
Okay, so DC was 38, so in that case, Greshy still
saves,
succeeds.
Just barely. Yes.
Phelan crit succeeds. Asher, you got a 45. That is a success, but not a crit success. And
It will become a crit success, I think.
Asher's
I have to find the
evasion.
thing
Oh.
that does it.
of course,
Oh,
yes.
It's called.
Yeah. Okay. So Asher has a crit success, and then Gunn and Rock both failed, but not crit failed. Okay. So I think it's just.
But we do have some fire resist at least, so maybe we're
Well,
wrong.
in this case, it is actually acid damage. So this is 44 points of acid damage to anybody who failed, and 22 for Greshy, who succeeded.
Oh.
This is, yeah. These are gouts of sulfuric, like acid, basically shooting up from the rock beneath you.
My ring will help out a tiny little bit there that I still have, but Rock is going to get 44 from that.
All right. Top of the round. The ground is still shaking. You can see now up in the sky the cloud of smoke has revealed to be behind it a just gout of flame shooting up from the ground. The sky has become tinged with this kind of sickly green, the same sickly green that you saw in Riddleport. Magma begins to like stream down the mountain, and you're still just having to dodge all these geysers that keep opening up. What do you guys want to do? You have 1 point of success. You need 2 more to get out of this zone, and your enemies are delayed by 1 turn, so they're going to miss their next turn as they're trying to get into this region to catch up to you.
I have a weird thought. But if somebody has a good idea, please go ahead.
I want to hear the weird thought.
So the bag of containment can hold creatures to regular, normal size and large, in fact, if I recall. If we can get them in the bag, is that right? Or is it only up to small creatures?
I think it's up to large creatures, is what I said.
Can I put Asher and Phelan in the bag and fly? So we can get off the ground and away from the rocks.
You will have to cast air bubble into it, I think, because I don't think you have.
Correct.
Today.
I have not done that yet today. I do have it prepared.
Okay, but yeah, you could do that. Asher wouldn't be able to take his turn while he's in the bag.
So maybe Asher, if Asher has
can
something to
also
go
fly.
first.
Flying
that's
is not
right.
a big
Well, you can
deal
just-
for me.
You're fine then.
Yeah.
So I can just shove Phelan in the bag though. So I think I'll probably do that then. Since Asher, if Asher wants to get off the ground and away from these rocks to hopefully move a bit faster, Greshy's going to quickly shrink Phelan down to puppy size and then shove him in the bag before summoning tempestuous winds around him to lift his billowing robes off the ground and bring him into the air.
Okay.
So we can get away from rocks and hopefully.
What are you
this
using to fly?
acid-
Sorry. Is there a spell you're using? To fly?
This would be this would be Stormwind Flight that he'd be using. So it's another minute. It's another short form.
But
burn
it
and
could
stuff,
allow you
but
to skip some of the. If you time it right, you could use that to maybe skip over a section of lava.
That's the goal: is to try and get over the more difficult terrain elements and away
Okay.
from the dangerous parts into the sky.
All right. Yeah. I'll allow that. That'll give you guys another point. As you use your burst of flight to dodge around some of the incoming rocks that are tumbling down the mountain, to dodge around some of the magma that's starting to flow your way. That's Greshy's. You guys need one more point.
Yeah.
I could try to navigate us, and if I could navigate us to where we put more of these clouds of smoke between us and the pursuit, maybe we could hide from their vision somewhat as we're traveling.
Okay. That one would be more of a survival check, I think, to try and use the or nature to try and use the terrain to your advantage that way.
Try to do survival, I think.
Okay.
Just
That'll be
can I
DC
get an
30.
idea of the DC?
Yeah, DC 30.
30? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll go ahead and use my saved up points for this.
Okay.
So add 9
So
to my
plus 9.
to my check here, and then with a 19.
Okay, that is a critical success. Sadly, the critical part doesn't give you guys additional since this is the last points you needed for the round or for this zone.
Oh, right. If I thought of that, maybe I wouldn't. But
Yeah, the points won't
fine.
carry over to the next zone, but that's fine. Okay, yeah, you managed to spot the perfect opening that'll get you guys between some new vents of steam that have opened up and around some fog clouds that are ash clouds that are drifting down the mountain, and you keep moving. Whoop. As you continue, you can see
suppose
you're
this
actually.
zone could be even more dangerous.
It may or may not be. Whoop. Okay, you find yourselves. You've kind of crested one side of the volcano side, and you can see up ahead are the is like the entrance into the little valley where Zinshalast lies. You can see you can kind of oversee the town itself. It's a sprawling town that itself seems to be half covered in. The eastern portion seems to be covered in debris, possibly magma from a long time ago, while the western portion seems relatively untouched by the ages. The easiest path is going to be getting downhill, down towards the city gates. There's no real gate in front of the city. There's just kind of a big open pass. But that looks like your likely, like, way to safety is to reach the town and perhaps hide out in a building or something, to get out of this kind of open area where there's not much in the way of cover out here other than trees and whatnot. But the lava is flowing thick and fast, and in fact, like sprays of they're almost meteor-like. Huge chunks of molten rock are flying out of the volcano and landing all around you. So this will end up being more reflex saves. Well, potentially reflex saves to dodge the molten rocks. If not, you might end up doing a fortitude save just because the thick ashes falling down are enough to make one cough and get sick. But Asher and Gunn, let's see. Default actions I have for this one are so this is pretty nasty stuff. Finding a safe path with just with your eyeballs is a DC 42 perception check, or you can just try and navigate the natural hazards yourself with a DC 40 survival check, or do whatever else you want.
Only Asher has a turn left.
Oh, you're right. That was Gunn's action. Asher, what do you want to do?
Reading one of my feats and realizing that just the way it's worded means I can use it on something that's more than a bird. It doesn't say bird, it says flying creature. But it doesn't matter right now, because it will be a bird for this scenario. So Asher is going to turn into a bird to fly, so maybe being on the ground won't be as terrible as everyone else is flying. Yeah.
Greshy is not flying anymore, I think.
Oh, Greshy's not flying?
But I'm able to cast again, so I could keep going with that. I'm just not sure if that's the best use.
Too.
That's also possible. If you're big enough. Yeah, if you're a big enough bird, you could.
I can finally cast.
I could just ride Asher.
That's huge. And I'm like a bird forever when this happens, so yeah.
Okay, are you going for
a bird and try and... Yep.
Do you want to give Greshy a ride then?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, what kind of bird are you turning into?
So for this time, it's not going to be a funny bird. It's an osprey.
Okay. And this is a large size osprey, huge? What size is it?
This is a huge size osprey. I believe I can do huge. Let me double check. Yes, now I can do huge.
Okay. So
it's a huge form controlled osprey.
All right, you cast animal form or animal shape and unfurl your arms, which transform into massive wings, and your body just shifts into a massive osprey, even bigger than Rock. And you just yoink, grab Greshy and lift up into the air. That will be a success point. Okay, and since everybody is in the air, I'll have you guys make, you can either make reflex or acrobatics checks. Yeah, reflex save or an acrobatics check to avoid the incoming magma balls that are flying out of the volcano. This is DC 40.
Right. I was afraid of that. I'm going to go ahead and throw my points at this, because I've already got a downside for that.
All right, go for it.
9 points plus that is not great. So that's still a failure. It's a 35, excuse me.
35, sorry, 28 plus 9 is 37.
It's because Greshy's riding.
Oh, because you're riding.
So
yeah.
It's a -2.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, yeah, 35.
All right.
That is a failure.
I'm also
Riding,
going
but then you
to throw
shove
my
Phelan in the
points
bag.
at
I guess he
these.
took him back out again.
So I guess
Well, he's kind of in.
was a good idea.
He's in the grasp, so he's kind of riding at the moment.
Right. Either way, I don't really have the maneuverability I would if I was controlling myself.
Two more
Either because
failures
Gresh was
here.
holding me, or Ash was holding me, or because I'm riding on him.
Well, Rock almost made it.
Yeah, let's see. So
Gunn
it's
has
38.
34, Rock has a 38.
Failures
I
across the board except for
succeed, so
Asher.
My 9 points, which makes it a 46 for me.
Okay, so Asher succeeds, which would have as a crit success with his points. Greshy fails. Rock fails. Gunn fails.
Yep.
All right. Nah. You know what? I'll just do it where it was easier. It's 39 points of well, half of that is fire, half is bludgeoning. So let's call that 19 points of fire, 20 points of bludgeoning. And I look up and people are all have been getting points. All right. Okay. The giants, for their part, are trying to catch up, but they've run into the landslide roadblock that Gunn set up for them. They're still dealing with the fallout of that. Top of the round. You guys have 1 point. What would you like to do? Greshy, you're in Asher's grip. You can still do whatever you want. You're not really grabbed.
Sure, I can do some things, but
you're all flying through the air, trying to dodge past all these magmas flying at you. Lavas? Are they lava if they're in the air? I don't remember my
Magma
geology.
in the earth, isn't it? And lava. when it
Magma
comes
in the
out.
earth, lava outside. Okay.
I think so.
Thank you, Laura Crease. I think I got everybody's points. Did I miss one? I might have missed one. I'll give Greshy another one because I think I missed one. Alright.
oh, well, thank you, I suppose. All right, I'm trying to think of. So, what all were we able to do here? Still trying to find a better route down.
Yeah, the defaults were perception to spot a safe path or survival. The perception is 42, survival is 40.
Like, I mean, does somebody else have a different idea right now?
Yeah, you can also cast spells, do other actions to either protect yourselves, make it easier to find a path, anything you want to do.
I was not prepared for this spell-wise, so trying to think of ways to make some of these spells work to our advantage.
You can use them creatively, they don't have to be exactly what's on the tin.
Sure, I'm trying to think of creative uses for some of them, though.
Well, we have got a wand of resist energy here, which could help, except that the people who are struggling with the fire the most are myself and Rock, and we already have resist fire. So I don't see that changing much.
Sorry, I'm trying to think of other options here. I suppose I could heal, but I don't know if that's going to really give us much in terms of a boost to get forward.
No,
So-
probably not.
That would just be keeping us alive, which is not a bad thing either, obviously, if we kept getting hit. If somebody's better at finding a safe path, I'd suggest somebody else go first and do so. Greshy's perceptions and okay, but not as great as some others.
I am decent at perceiving.
And survival, I think, too.
Oh, yes. Less decent, but not by a lot. So I could do that. I could look for a safe path to take Greshy on, so maybe he doesn't get hit by flying boulders.
All right.
That'd be fine, I'm sure.
It'd be a DC 42.
Good luck.
You do have 5 points if you want them. You also still have your hero point. I think everybody else
Yeah,
used
well, I
theirs.
rolled first.
Oh, you rolled first? Okay.
Oh no, if I hero point, can I use it on that?
Sure, I would allow that.
Historically, yeah, we've done.
Yeah, I've usually let you use your hero points on your points on a hero point.
Oh, I didn't even need it, but I used them anyway. For 43 plus 5.
48. Okay, that's enough for a success, but not a crit success. So we'll give you guys another point. You spot a safe route and kind of try and fly through and lead Rock and Gunn down the mountain in a much steeper angle, dodging most of the molten rocks on your way. That's Asher's bit. You guys need one more success.
Here's an interesting use option, but I don't know if it's going to be useful. And it really only targets Phelan. Clone Companion would be interesting. I'm just trying to think of ways to push us forward faster. Are there any signs of like enemies that we're approaching that we need to be on the lookout for? Or are you really just worried about those behind us? And of course, the earth just erupting beneath our feet.
You don't see any enemies close. You can see off in the distance that the giants are catching up, but they're a bit too far for you to interact with currently.
Right. So not an immediate concern, but still trying to catch up.
Right.
I suppose we're not really leaving a trail any longer, but I can try and target behind us and cast Entangle, which will create a burst of plant growth that will give them a 10-foot circumstance penalty to their speeds. Try and slow them down a bit further once they get here.
All right, sure.
That's about what I've got.
Will it last long enough?
Yeah.
Well, so you start casting.
So maybe not.
Yeah, you're in Asher's grip. You like trying to think of something to do. You start to cast behind you and create and draw out the very loose shrubbery around you, or around the ground that can grow in this harsh habitat. And it starts to stretch out, and some of it immediately comes into contact with the magma, or lava, I guess, that's flowing alongside the mountain, and it begins to catch fire. And you realize that as you're like trying to create this entangling vine strip, you're actually in effect creating like a wall of fire, and you can continue pulling the entangling line behind you, just kind of draw out this basically a wall that should slow down the giants considerably. So sure, I'll give you guys a success, and you continue on down the mountain. You're reaching the main road, and some of you are you're starting to get the ash in your lungs a little bit. You're coughing lightly. All around, it's gotten dark as the ash has kind of filled the sky, and it almost feels like cloudy. But I mean, the clouds are all just this billowing ash floating above you. But then there's something odd as you guys get closer to the main road. You hear a loud boom that shakes the ground, and then a brief moment later, a spark of lightning that flashes through the sky. As you make your way towards the gates of the city, the ash seems at first to have ignited a lightning storm. This is a thing that can happen. Those of you that have nature, you would know that thunderstorms can be caused by the ash in the air. But then a shadow passes overhead, a massive shadow. The shadow of a blue dragon. Larger than any dragon you've ever faced before. It flies very far overhead. You're not even sure if it has really noticed you. But as you basically break for the town entrance, lightning bolts are just starting to strike all around. So that was Greshy's turn, right? So Gunn is the last one who can act this round. You can try and seek shelter, which is Perception DC 32, or you can try and predict the lightning strikes with Survival or Nature DC 40. Or you can do other things.
Seek shelter seems definitely more like what we need right now. Especially if we can do it with staying low to the ground and trying not to be seen outside the clouds ashes by this dragon.
Okay.
So I will
go ahead
do that.
And perception check.
And you said Rock can help with this one?
Yes.
I can tell him.
Yeah, he can either help or he can be the main.
Okay.
Either choice.
I'll have him be the primary and look for a place for us to go because his perception is pretty high.
Okay.
And plus he got an 18 on the dice, 44 total.
44, that is a critical success. Rock quickly spots or you feel him like drift as you guys pass the entrance of the town, which are basically just two large stone columns that maybe have some runes on them. You don't know. You're not focusing on them too intently as you're running past or flying past. Rock immediately starts to drift towards the east, the side of the city that has been looks like it's been overflown with stone almost, covered in magma from a previous explosion in ancient times, perhaps. He starts to drift in that way. Seemingly his eye has caught something, and the others follow suit. Okay, I'm just drawing on the giants now, but the giants are catching up. I need reflex saves to dodge the lightning. These are reflex DC 38. Or acrobatics. Either or.
All right, let's see what happens.
Oh no!
And Phelan's still in his bag. It doesn't count. So never mind. Luckily. Yikes.
Okay,
That's
that's
a
a
good
lot of
round.
rolls. So Asher got a 37. That is a failure. I said DC 38, right? Yeah. Greshy got a 34. That's a failure. Phelan got a natural. Phelan's not here.
Phelan's in the bag, so ignore that. Luckily.
Gunn got a 41, which is a success, and Rock got a 31, which is a failure. What's the penalty for riding? It's -2. But that's fine.
It is -2.
That's still a 38 for Gunn. So Gunn's got a success. He's shielded from the lightning bolt as Rock ends up taking most of the damage. This is 46 points of electricity damage to basically everyone that failed, which is everyone except Gunn, who takes 23.
Are we flying kind of in a formation? Like, are we close enough together that we're all, as we're trying to find shelter and get away from the lightning strikes?
Yes, sure. Oh, sorry. Oh, you
Greshy
mean to...
would then...
Oh, go ahead.
As we're flying along, if we're flying close enough that Greshy he would attempt to shield everyone from some of that damage as it comes in, with scintillating safeguard. So hopefully everyone takes 11 less lightning damage as you get resistance.
Sure. What's the normal reach on that?
30 foot, I believe.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. Yes.
You have the reach spell feat. Right?
I do have the reach spell as well, so I could make it. Well, it doesn't. It's a reaction, so technically not. But there we go.
Okay, so yeah, everybody get back 11 health then. As he's able to, Greshy, seeing the lightning bolt strike, manages to, I guess, I don't know, reverse polarity on his staff and draw some of that into his own body. His eyes and, I was going to say his hair, but his scalp tickle with electricity. He gets
like a slight electric afro thing going on for a moment before it all goes away.
Yeah, but he's able to absorb some of that for you guys. Okay. Top of the round. You guys only need one more point to get out of here. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm probably going to drop a heal from the wand onto Rock, because he's getting mighty hurt by this. So
good.
And of course our health bars aren't updating.
That should be good for an extra 87 points back to him.
All right. You heal him. I'm not going to count that as a success or necessarily a failure. That's just maintenance, I suppose.
Makes sense.
Asher and Greshy.
It was an action. It just didn't add anything.
Yeah.
I think we should get out of this storm.
If you want to find us a path out.
Find a safe path out. What would that be?
That is a perception DC 32 to seek shelter.
I think I can. Well, let's try.
There goes the roll.
Are you... Oh my goodness.
It's a 31. Asher, you're searching around trying to spot something that will help. A failure does not lose a point, only critical failures do. You're trying to find something. You don't see any obvious ways forward. You're starting to panic. Greshy, you're the team's last hope.
The big dragon.
I guess we're going to go for the perception check ourselves. And right. I've got my points. I'm going to throw them at it. So 32.
5 points. Yes, 32 is what you need.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, 42 total with the 5
42. Okay, critical success. While Asher is floundering a little bit, you spot something. A building that initially looks like it has been just totally overrun by magma. It's like leaning over and like it looks really unstable, but the front door seems to be like open enough. Does not appear to be locked. You don't see any light or anything inside. It looks like it's a safe enough place to dart into.
All right.
You lead the party. You call out to go in that direction. Asher affirms, flies that way. Gunn and Rock fly as well toward it, and you quickly, as you approach it, it's not large enough for you to all fit inside, but you can, like, Greshy can hop down, quickly dart inside. Asher, you can change form if you want back into human. And then Rock can squeeze in as Gunn just walks inside. And that will get you guys safely out of danger. You have a moment to
All right,
collect yourselves as you find yourselves in this just kind of dark, abandoned room. There's no sign of light. Any furniture that was here seems to have maybe been made of wood and is long since decayed. There's only just kind of wisps of what used to be here. At the back of the room, there's a door that's fallen off of its hinges that clearly leads to like a stairwell going up. But considering the upper state of the building, you wouldn't dare go further down. Or further up. But there is... so the room that you're in is only about 20 feet in both dimensions. It's like a square. There is a small trapdoor in the kind of back left corner of the room, big enough for a person to kind of fit down. It seems to be made of some kind of metal. It's just like it's just a metallic square on the ground, slightly covered by what will probably be was probably some kind of throw rug that has since fallen to tatters. And there's like a clear, simple metal handle that's kind of it's sort of set inside the metal, but you can easily pull it out if you wanted. That would be for those of you who can see in the dark. If you can't see in the dark, it's just a dark room. But yeah, it's silent aside from the occasional booms of thunder and the occasional rumble of the ground. But after a few moments pass, it seems clear that you've lost your pursuers and are in relative safety. What do you guys
Relative safely. Okay.
My goodness. The earth is mad.
What? I don't even know what happened. Why did the earth start erupting?
We were having such a nice snowy walk.
Sure, nice snowy walk. Everyone all right? That was painful. Bit.
It was painful, but I think we're okay thanks to our friends from before. I'll put that wand away.
All right, and I'll pull Phelan out so that I can start. Well, I think I'm the worst off right now, so I'm just going to heal myself real quick, and then we'll take a look around here. You said a trap door in the corner.
Yes. It's a fairly simple looking metallic door on the floor.
You're the only one who can see that right now.
Oh, that's true. You don't have it cast at the moment. So after bringing his hand to his chest and starting to infuse himself with some healing natural energies, Greshy will head over to the corner. If you want to come over here, there's a trap door that might lead someplace further down. I don't know if we want to stay up with that dragon in the sky still. I don't know if it saw us or not.
So, trapdoor seems better.
Well, if we peek out the front, can we see anything? I'm assuming that we didn't even move the door.
No. Yeah, Rock is currently standing he squeezed himself inside, and at your suggestion of that, he kind of peeks his head out the window. Or sorry, out of the door frame. Just kind of looks around and looks back in. And just kind of does a slight nod, affirming to you that there's no one immediately. Or no, there's no immediate danger.
But could we proceed further into the city from that way? Because, I mean, odds are this just goes to some kind of cellar. We could check it out. But my expectation is still that ultimately we're going to have to leave here and sneak our way into the city on the streets. Maybe we get lucky and there's a passage down this way, but...
It's more hiding out in case something else is wandering around out there. It's good that we're clear for the moment. I just don't know how long that'll last. But either way, we can...
Sure, by all means, take a look. I can't... Once we get down a little more out of sight, we could cast a light.
That's true.
But right now I don't want to do it because it would potentially give us away.
I can
Alright.
still see. I just cast dark vision every morning because it lasts all day.
So it is still
Cast it.
it is still daylight outside, so you can see like dimly in most of the room. It's just the area that in the back of the room that's completely dark. So if you were to go down the trap door, you'd assume that it would be totally dark, then you'd need some light source or something. But...
Well, why don't Asher and I take a look then real quick, and assuming coast is clear, you can come down, we'll set up base camp and start making exploration around.
That works.
Is the trapdoor trapped? Can I double check and make sure?
Roll perception.
That's Greshy. Oof. 29 total.
29. Okay. It doesn't look like this door is trapped in any way, at least not that's visible from the outside. It's clearly hidden, or like it seems like it was trying to be hidden, and maybe that was the primary security here, not any further. Like there's not even a lock on it.
Okay. I was about to double check for that, but all right, let's.
Yeah, it looks like just a handle that you
up and
lift up.
Then we'll lift it up. See what's in there.
You grab the handle, pull it up. It's rusty, so it takes a bit of effort. But after a few pulls, there's a creak and a crack as some of the rust breaks, and you wedge the door up. And inside is a... sorry, I'm trying to think how to describe it. And what looks like maybe an unfinished room, possibly a wine cellar, or maybe an old-timey refrigerator room, like a cool place underground. There's a short ladder that is attached to the wall right underneath the trapdoor that you can climb down. Your brief looking inside that chamber suggests that it's probably empty. You don't see or hear anything.
All right. Well, looks pretty clear from here. We're gonna head down real quick, and I will make our way down the ladder.
Okay. Climb down the ladder.
Down after Greshy is down.
Okay, yeah, so
Greshy's
after...
being very, very deliberate with each rung, just like putting a foot down to make sure it's actually there before going down. And then Asher just falls down behind him.
Behind her, just like boop.
Yeah, Asher just drops down. So you have catfall, I presume.
Yeah.
Are you at the point where you take no damage?
Catfall.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't take any damage. Which is ridiculous. I could like fall off a cliff, and as long as it's okay at the bottom.
Yeah, you're really good at tumbling. Okay, so yeah, Greshy, you very carefully, painstakingly make your way down to the bottom, which is only about 20 feet or so. And as soon as you step away from the ladder, there's just a sudden thud behind you, and you jump, and Asher has just landed behind you, kind of briefly startling you.
Wow.
Wait. Almost there. Hang on.
The room itself, seems like a kind of unfinished basement. There's some clear like framework of a room, but the walls are themselves still made of like earth and clay. The ground is just simple concrete foundation. There's some support beams to hold it up, but nothing fancy. However, the only thing of note really in this room is that the the wall just across from the ladder actually appears to be dug out, and seems to be some kind of tunnel.
Ah. Can I see how far down the tunnel goes? Is there a good way to tell from here?
Yeah, you kind of walk over to the tunnel, and it seems like it goes. Well, it kind of immediately curves around a corner, but you can kind of peek around to your. It turns to your right pretty harshly, but it seems to then kind of slope downward, with kind of rough. In a gentle slope that you could walk down easily, but it's about wide enough for a person to move through. Yeah, it looks like it goes away.
Well,
Like you don't see an immediate end to it.
Well, it looks like it keeps going. Asher, do you want to tell Gunn what we found?
Asher gets on the ladder. Well, I'm not gonna shout. He climbs up.
Come up and tap me on the shoulder.
Yeah, pokes his head out.
Kind
Gunn,
of gesture.
Gunn, we found a tunnel.
All right. Come on, Rock. Well, actually, can Rock fit through the trapdoor?
Rock looks at it. It seems like he could squeeze through it. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do that. Let's do that for now. We don't know if it's going to be a long trip. If it is, we can arrange something. The bag or the pet cache.
Mm-hmm. One or the other should
Okay.
be fine. The bag's activated already.
So leaving the front door ajar that you had been looking through, you make your way down the ladder. Rock does he grabs he puts his head down and grabs the ladder with his teeth and pulls his body through. It takes him a little bit to pull his larger body through the frame, but it's not too bad actually. That's pretty quickly. And the three of you find yourselves at the bottom of this little basement here. It's actually a larger room than the room above. But yeah, you can. Well, I guess Rock and. Well, Gunn, I presume you're gonna activate light so that you can see once you're down here. But.
Yes, I'll put a light on, and I think we'll put the light on Rock's harness again on the gem.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you
are
cast the
light
light on
posts.
his harness and illuminating the room. You can now see that the room is actually the concrete floor is actually painted very brilliantly. It wasn't apparent in the dark, but it's actually a vibrant sort of mosaic, not mosaic, mural is what I meant to say. You're not really sure what it depicts, but it's only using maybe sorry, when I say vibrant, it's still using only a couple of paint colors, but looks like maybe it's been done. Well, I shouldn't give you any more details about any checks, but it's basically just a big kind of mural. There's clear stick figure people arranged in some kind of formations, but it's a little hard to interpret as is without any further checks. There's no words or anything on
Asher,
it.
can you make anything out of this? I'll take a look at it, try to scrutinize the details, see if there's anything significant that I recognize.
Okay. I would allow.
Related to the Runelords.
I would allow Thassalon lore, religion, or society. I think are the three I'd allow, and they have different contexts that they would provide.
Can Rock make a religion attempt? He is better than I am at religion.
Yes, Rock can make the religion attempt.
Okay. Rock has a 34. Actually, I have a 40. I got a quite good roll here, so.
Okay.
Right,
well, this is actually funny because you... Oh. Okay. All right. The two of you are looking it over, and as you're like, this is clearly some kind of like, it clearly feels like a religious mural to you. It's got all the it seems to be like some holy rays of light emanating around that are kind of surrounding some of the little stick figure people. But none of the iconography really fits any of the modern gods that you've worshipped. But the one thing that does kind of jump out to you is this this interesting kind of pattern. It looks like just kind of an asterisk almost, with a squiggly body. It's almost kind of Trogdor-esque, kind of S-shaped body. And it's very primitive, but the shape reminds you of something. And you're like trying to think about it, and like, what does this mean or look like? And you glance at Rock, who all of you hear, though the sound emanates from his beak in a tongue that I think none of you would really understand. I do believe that is Yasala, Brother Gunn.
I was just thinking, wait a minute. Wait, what?
Rock looks at you.
I mean, you're right, but when did you get so insightful? And also, what are we saying? Greshy, did you hear that?
Greshy looks at Asher and looks at the two speaking in... I don't even know how to describe the way that they're talking. It's just gibberish.
They're basically speaking in tongues.
But it sounds musical. It's the musical kind of gibberish, but it's still gibberish as far as I can tell. So I'm just looking at Asher going, are they okay? They don't have a way to remove curses.
They cannot understand us, Brother Gunn.
I guess not. What a gift to finally talk to you. This is amazing.
He lowers his head and then raises it again, seemingly nodding in agreement. It is a boon from Father.
I'm at a loss for words, except I agree with you. This is the goddess we discovered, Yasala. She's the one who fell. Is that correct? We heard her tale in the library, I think.
Yes,
I'm trying to speak common again.
He looks at you and then looks at the others and then looks back at you to kind of relay the information, or expecting you to relay the information, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
She is not so powerful now. Her reach has dwindled. These people And he Talon kind of scratches at one of the little figures. They must still worship her. I thought...
Or have done at the time this was made.
This is recent.
Does this look newer than the building? Oh.
He scratches his beak at some of the paint, and when he lifts his head, you can see the paint has come off a bit.
So the worshippers of Lasala are still here.
In a sense, this is not traditional Lasalan. This is something different.
So, out of character, what I recall is that she had a symbol for a head and was corrupted when the rune magic was corrupted and went from, like, she was the... Is that correct?
Yeah, let me see if I can
jive with the...
I can show you
the lore
guys
that we
what
discovered in the
Lasala looked like. The symbol of Lasala that you've seen before is this image of basically a Sahedron head attached to a snake-like woman's body with 6 wings. Or actually, does she have 7 wings? I think she has 6 wings. She's also wielding a whip and I think a kukri in either hand. And she typically has the various runes of the Runelords etched into her.
She was the one who granted them the rune magic to Zin. Is that correct?
Yes, she was the one who either taught it to him or helped him develop it. But she definitely was a part of developing rune magic initially. And she was the goddess of runes, amongst other things. Fate and rewards as well.
Okay. Well, I will relay all of this back to everyone so that we're all on the same page.
Gotcha. Is that what you and Rock were talking about then?
Yes. Yeah, he can speak now.
That's pretty neat.
So is turning into a ghost. What happened with...
You'd have to ask Phelan that, but he doesn't talk, so he's not, so I'm not.
I thought
And
you
Greshy
just
looks down
do
at Phelan,
that.
who's still in puppy form. You don't talk, right? I'm not missing something? Well, he does that, so... But still, that's pretty neat. Is that something rocks are known to do? Or your
Eagles?
fancy rocks, or eagles, you're the giant fancy
members of the
eagles,
Shough
yeah.
family, yes.
Well, I would imagine the Shough family talks pretty good in general, so makes sense.
Here, Brother Gunn. And you notice that Rock has turned and made his way to another corner of the room, and he's like scratching at the floor.
Oh, let's go have a look at what he's pointing out.
Hi.
This, and he's gesturing at a part of this sprawling mural that seems to have been kind of painted over with a most of this mural has been done in like greens, blues, and purples, like very cool colors. But this spot here seemed to have been painted over in like reds and oranges. There's some kind of like weird kind of amorphous blob thing done in kind of like a red. It's almost like a mist with 2 like yellow eyes that seems to have like little misty tendrils that have been drawn kind of sprawling out from this little corner of the room onto other parts of the mural.
Is it in fact a drawing, or is it some form of corruption?
It seems to be a drawing of a corruption, perhaps. But it is made in similar fashion, I suppose. But it's clearly done on top of.
Does it appear to be?
Mm-hmm.
Does it appear to be done in a way of representing the change, or is it actually showing it as a negative, like a derogatory contamination of this image? I don't. It might not be obvious from the context. I'm trying to see if I can read into it.
Sure. I mean, to you, it looks a bit graffiti-ish. It's just enough of a different style that it looks like it's almost akin to drawing mustaches on a religious work in some way. It doesn't. Yeah, I guess whatever it's depicting doesn't necessarily look like whoever's depicting it as bad per se, but it certainly looks bad in context.
Okay.
Those colors don't usually indicate Karzug's involvement. He's more into green.
Yeah, that red mist when we were under. Was that when we were under Sandpoint?
Yeah, the red mist was Lamashtu.
Lamashtu. Well, the last mist was also
Lamisht.
red tinted, but
Rock seems to think about it for a moment, and it could be related to Lamashtu, yes. Perhaps. And he's just kind of looking at it with quirking his head curiously.
And this is at the opposite end from where the tunnel goes?
This is... so you guys started... here, I could... We have a tabletop thing right here in front of me that I could use to draw things, and I always forget to do so. Yep. Let me... if I could get the camera kind of in here. Alright. So there's a room that you guys are in, something like that. Of course, I've drawn it on the GM layer so that you can't see it. That's not useful. Okay. Here's a room. Ah, fuck. This is why I don't draw things live. Move it slightly this way. Okay. Here's the room. The ladder is, we'll call that the north side. The tunnel is kind of directly across to the south. The mural just kind of spans the whole floor, and the red bit is kind of in this southeastern corner. And kind of spreads its little tendrils over this corner of the room. And you can see it's kind of, the tendrils themselves kind of, they seem to be going out towards the little stick figure people that are drawn in the mural, and like kind of encircling them or like wrapping around them, almost like they were tentacles.
Well, in as much as we want to take this literally, we should start watching out for red
say the Lasala portion
tentacle monsters. But if there are two groups here that are fighting over this city's legacy, then no skin off my nose.
But if they're, do you think still fighting?
Seems like this is more recently done than the fall of the city, and I think the involvement of the Lamia and the other followers of Lamashtu is definitely fairly modern.
So if there are forces opposed, would that be some use to us? Perhaps they know a way in.
Aren't those like, didn't... I forget her name now.
Svavenka?
But yeah, I was like, the Lady of the Lake told us.
Yes.
Weren't there like, there's like corrupted,
Oh,
I don't know
that's
if
true.
they're people, but
Slaved giants.
citizens, and then polite citizens of this area. Maybe
That's
that's
true.
what she was talking about.
Well, which do you think is going to be down this tunnel?
This
Did
looks
the
like
polite
this
ones
area
live
is more in the
underground?
control of the corrupted ones, given that they've graffitied this mural
It's
to make
like
themselves
drawing
feel
on
good about.
someone's door.
Yeah.
So if we go through this tunnel, we should probably be ready to fight.
I think we should always be ready to fight here,
Yeah,
but
Lamashtan's.
Right. Well,
I feel like the good ones are underground, or the nice ones.
that would make sense to me, but couldn't tell you firm with the graffiti here and all, but let's go. Let's keep moving then.
Agreed.
Okay. The three of you look up from the mural and start to make your way over towards the tunnel when you hear a kind of like a soft thud and a shuffling of cloth. And just
From
a
behind us
soft
in the room, or
from the tunnel.
Oh.
who goes
And you
there?
hear just shuffling,
Hello?
very, very rapid shuffling away.
Oh, shite.
Oh no!
We're going... Asher, can you caption? The fastest.
Can I run? Wee! Yes, I can.
Okay, you
Here I
run after
go.
this figure.
Yeah.
Okay, you dart into the tunnel, and you can see as you quickly turn to your right. He hasn't gone very far, but as a very gray-skinned, bald-headed humanoid figure, very kind of flabby cheeks, is kind of stumbling along the wall, and looks back at you. Who are you? He says back in Thessalonian. As he kind of stops to... He seems scared.
I'm Asher. What's your name?
Ah! And he starts running again.
Oh. No, wait.
He almost didn't expect a
I'll start
response.
chasing him.
Okay, you run after him. Again, it's not very far to catch up to him. Do you want to try and stop him, or you try to grab him? What do you do?
Did we ever get Asher a lasso?
Didn't get a lasso. My friends and I, we want to talk. We're friendly.
Okay, so you're just shouting that behind him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to suddenly grab him and be like, I gotcha.
Okay, yeah, you're way faster than him, so you've caught up to him already, and you're like trying to calm him down. Give me a diplomacy check.
Wait. Oh boy. Wait, is he afraid right now?
He is afraid right now, yeah. Oh no, what ability are you trying to use?
I have no cause for alarm.
What?
I don't know if this works. You attempt to reduce panic. Attempt a diplomacy check, comparing it to the will DC of the creatures in a 10-foot emanation around you who are frightened. Each of them is temporarily immune for an hour. Critical success, reduce the creature's frightened value by 2. Success reduced by 1.
This seems like a perfect opportunity. And it also doesn't specify allies. It says creatures.
Yeah, go for it. This
So
is
I just do a diplomacy check.
yeah. It's just go and roll diplomacy check versus his will save.
I guess I have nothing to add, so here we go. 37.
Sounds pretty good.
That is a critical success. You you jump out and do the like Jurassic Park both arms out to the raptors, like calm down, everyone calm down. And he stops and turns to look back at you. You see now that you're this close up, he's got these like really tight, like black beady eyes. And he looks like a human, but his features are just slightly weird or slightly off. His ears are very tiny, his nose is very scrunched up, and he's just got a lot of excess skin that's like just kind of flapping around. Well, you seem nice enough, I guess. No one ever really wants to talk to us. Are you... okay. I guess. You're not going to eat me, are you?
Oh no. I don't... I should think so and say, maybe I should say I don't eat anything. I don't eat meat. Nope, that's worse. I don't eat people. I don't eat you. No. I won't be eating anybody, and neither will my friends.
Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. I can talk to you then. I'm Morgiv.
Hey, Morgiv. Do you want to stay in the tunnel, or would you mind coming to my friends? Do you want them to come in here? Where would you feel happiest?
He looks around. I like the tunnel, but I like the Chamber of Contemplation too. I can talk to your friends. And he slowly kind of gets... He's like in this like a hunched up, like balled up kind of position. He slowly gets up. And that's when you realize he's actually quite tall. He's like 7 feet.
Oh my goodness.
But he's very kind of lanky, despite his like very kind of fatty looking face.
Okay, well, I'll lead him back to Gunn and Greshy. 2 G's.
Greshy's peeking down the hall, trying to see if he can see what's going on.
Yeah, you can see Asher returning
sense,
with this kind of tall figure behind her.
Blazes is this?
Well, hello.
Hi.
You must be of the folk Svavenka mentioned to us.
Oh. Do you know Svavenka? Oh, sorry. If you were speaking in common, he actually wouldn't know what you're saying, I suppose. He,
Oh, well.
he would
My
look to
German is the
Asher
name.
and
Try
say, what's he saying?
I could try again in Thessalonian. I have that now too.
Yes, he only speaks Thessalonian, it appears. If you'd like to practice.
Oh, I can repeat the same question.
You've met Svavenka. She's nice, isn't she?
Yes, she thought we might be able to help you and your people here
Oh,
while we're
she
on our mission.
sent you to save us?
She asked us to look out for you.
Oh, she shouldn't have. We've already taken up too much of her time. The hidden beast is too powerful for us. We can't. We're doomed. We were the spared, but now we might as well be called the doomed. And he's just like looking down at his feet, which he's not wearing any shoes. He's just kind of got this like loose kind of white rags that he's wearing. He's avoiding looking in the direction of the light. It seems to be like it's too bright for him. And he's just got like this very enclosed, like keeping his arms really tight to the chest kind of look to him.
Rock, could you cover that up partly?
Rock kind of turns to the side and to turn the room to dim light rather than full bright. Oh, no, you needn't do that. It's fine. All my life is pain anyway. It's no bother to me.
Wow, you're a bit depressing, aren't you?
Depressing? Oh, I probably am.
Sorry.
I'm
I
sorry.
just let other people talk. Well. What's this big beastie you were talking about?
The hidden beast?
Aye.
Whatever it is, it's been... Sorry, I said that and I immediately went to, it's been 1 week since you looked at me.
Cocked your
Damn
head
it.
to the side.
Fuck. Alright. It's a force. It's been corrupting my brethren. You see, we spared have... Well, we are the children of the great Nesmina. She led us here to safety during the fall. We've survived here in this city underground ever since. But lately, there's something weird that has been happening. Many of our brothers and sisters have been turning to something they call the hidden beast. It's unseeable, unknowable evil that
prowls our caverns, looking for more of us spared to turn to its sinister ways. When one of us is taken, their teeth become sharp and they crave our blood. They've been eating us alive, leaving no drops of blood left.
Where are the
Often,
rest of your folk?
the rest of us? Oh, we try not to stay in one place together. We have tunnels all over the city where we can hide, safe places. Safe from the prying eyes of the ones above. The Lamia, the giants.
This hidden beast is most likely related to what's happening with Karzug and Lamashtu. One or the other, or both.
I
And as
don't
such, we
know who those are. All I know is that they've been taking more and more of us, converting them.
could even defeating this beast could even be our way into the heart of the city where we're trying to go.
The part where you're trying to go? What do you mean?
Wherever Karzug's present, exactly, we're not sure exactly what we're looking for, but he has a rune well of some kind,
A rune well?
which we intend to destroy. It's a place of power for a dark presence.
I see.
Could be this beast is guarding it,
The great
or even emanates
priestess,
from it.
the great priestess Mesmina told us of a well of power at the top of the mountain. There's a fortress there, but it's protected. The Lamia, the giants, they have a way in. We've seen them. I could ask around. Maybe the others would know something that could help you.
Maybe. And even if it's not directly related, now that I have a better picture of what's going on here, I would personally vote that we find and destroy this hidden beast before we move on.
Figure
For its
out
own
what
sake.
it is.
Well, it would also be nice to gain some assistance in what we're doing here, so if we deal with their problem, maybe they can give us a hand or help us find this pathway in that the Lamia use. Or possibly to help us track down a particular Lamia.
Favorite one.
Oh yeah.
Yes, there's nothing in the city that my people, at least one of us, doesn't know. I'm sure that we could all help you.
Yeah, then seems we should kill your mighty big hidden beast.
Truly, you would do this for strangers, for lowly beings such as ourselves.
Greshy shuts his eyes and just turns to Gunn to let him respond. He's not replying.
I don't know you. You could be anyone. You could be
The short
lowly. You could be
answer
highly.
is yes.
Truly, then, you must be like Mesmina reborn, but 3 times. You're triple Mesminas. Oh, this is such a beautiful
Oh.
day. I've never thought I'd see the rebirth of the goddess with my own
Job's
eyes.
not done yet.
He drops to his knees and is like starting to cry.
Sure.
It's
Oh no.
These selfless acts are too much for me to bear. My heart, it aches. But yes, I can help you in any way you want. Are you hungry? Are you tired? Or well, I can take you to where the hidden beast's followers go. They do scare me, though.
Oh, sure. Well, we don't want you getting yourself put in danger, but
I can
Paizo
lead
food
them to
probably
you.
wouldn't hurt either.
I can be strong.
Oh, maybe the other way around. Maybe lead us to them instead of them to us.
Yes, I can lead you to them.
He's basically asking, do you need a
That
do
sounds
you need a
extremely
break,
useful.
or do you want to go with him right away?
I don't. A short break could be useful. Yeah, we could patch up a little bit more.
Wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
So I think we'll take a bit of a breather, get some food, patch up, refocus a bit. I think for some of us, and
If you wait here, I can
about an hour.
get you some food.
Oh,
I'll-
well, that'd be kind of you.
I'll be back.
He says as he starts to get up and
Did we get his
maneuver his
name?
way into the tunnel.
Yeah.
Yes, he said his name was Morgiv.
Forgive.
Morgiv.
Morgiv.
Gotcha. I got Mesmina. And triple Mesminas.
All right. Well, I suppose with that all said, that is probably a good spot to end the episode.
Aye?
Yay! You did it. You succeeded the chase. You took some damage,
Did not
but it
get
was fine.
Beaten up.
Did not incur the dragon's wrath or anything like that. So well done. Well done. Soft claps
There
from me. Cool. I think that'll do it then for tonight. We should be back, I think, next week. It's April 4th,
Believe so.
if my calendar is correct. So we'll see you
April the 4th
then,
be with you.
viewers. Yes, April the 4th be with you? I don't think that's how that works.
Maybe April the 4th.
It is
All right.
February the 2nd. Be with
Get out of here, chat. Leave. Shoo. Goodbye. Okay.